Taped from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
John Trumbull, how are you, sir?
Oh, well, lazy Sunday, woke up in the late afternoon. Daylight savings, got an extra hour of sleep.
Oh, Mr. Pippin Red Vines equal crazy delicious.
Exactly. Although I should say daylight saving. It's not savings, it's saving. I learned that on like an NPR story a year or two ago.
Oh, so singular, not plural. I did not know that.
Singular, which I, like my entire life, I thought it was daylight savings. But no, it's daylight saving time. But because everyone is used to hearing and saying savings, like savings account, we just say savings.
So we're only saving one thing, not many things.
We are saving that hour, and we're saving that S off the end of the word savings, I guess.
We leave off the last S for savings.
Exactly.
See? Haha.
Exactly. So there's your little factoid. See? We're less than 2 minutes into the podcast. You've already learned something.
We've already taught you people. Look at that. You have a nice little factoid to bring to the next cocktail party you attend.
We entertain and we educate here at the SNL Nerds.
You're welcome, America. You're welcome.
Yep. You're welcome. And by the way, the reason we're here is we're talking about SNL Season 47, Episode 5, November 6, 2021, with Kieran, Culkin, and Ed Sheeran as the musical guest.
Kieran Culkin, of course, brother of Macaulay Culkin, which, he brings up in the monologue. And right now he's on Succession, which is a widely successful TV show.
Have you watched it?
I have not. I don't know. I have this weird thing about, wealthy, white people that can have everything they want. And me, them being in a show where I'm maybe supposed to empathize with them or just see them be terrible to other people. I'm like, I don't know if I got it in me to see this.
I know that's like one of the it shows now. I haven't watched it either, but I've seen like the cast guest star on some of the late night talk shows like Colbert and Seth Meyers, and they've been on Kimmel and Fallon, and every time they come on, the hosts are just like, "Oh my God, your show is so amazing and it's so great," and I don't doubt it's great. But yeah, I'm kind of like you. It's not a time that I really want to see rich assholes be rich assholes.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, I guess maybe it's a personal thing with me but when I just see rich people be horrible and terrible and do horrible things and getting away with it, you just see me sitting at home with a stack of bills and trying to figure out how to pay. I don't know. That just seeing wealthy people get away with everything. That's not what I call entertainment.
It's triggering, as they say in one of the sketches from last night.
I am triggered.
Yeah. I get that. And I'm sure if I ever tuned in, I would be like, "Oh, I'm an idiot. This wasn't, this is great. Why would I say waiting so long?" But no, I'd rather just watch Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Watch something that feeds the soul, cleanses.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want some kindness. Put a little love in your heart.
My soul is bereft. I need to fill it up with something.
That's right, absolutely. And as far as the musical guest, Ed Sheeran. We mentioned him a couple weeks ago because, literally after we found out he had gotten the gig, and we talked about it on the episode before the Ghostbusters episode, which just came out. We found out literally minutes after we recorded that episode, he got the COVID.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I should record a special intro. So just to update people so that we're as current as we possibly can be. And now didn't have to do that at all because Ed Sheeran, he quarantined in England and then he was able to come over and be the musical guest live on the show. So what was that whole thing all about? I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are they getting more lax with their, COVID protocols or whatnot? Because it seems like something like that where, he has the COVID, and he's scheduled to go on and perform in 2 weeks. I don't know. Is 2 weeks enough time, or did they just sort of?
Well, maybe it was a false positive. I don't know. I haven't gone that deep on that story. maybe he had a mild case. Maybe it's I'm confused because apparently he quarantined over in the UK and then he flew over here. And don't you have to quarantine when you arrive into the country as well? Is that still the case or no? Because I haven't done any traveling since the whole pandemic started.
I've even done less traveling than you. I have no idea what's going on out there in the real world.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, either way, it sounded like. I mean, because like I at first I heard that they were scrambling to look for a new musical guest. Like I think I saw that on the New
Right.
York Post or something. But then I saw an interview with Ed Sheeran, him saying, "Yeah, I was always going to do it. Like there was never like a doubt that there were, that I wasn't, or like he was basically saying, yeah, like anything you heard about them trying to find a replacement is baloney." So
So either that's spin or it was a rumor that got out of control, and I don't know what the hell to think at this point.
yeah, I don't know, but I part of me was thinking, oh well, is he? Well, he's doing it, so are they gonna like have him perform in the studio? Is he gonna do it out in the street? Is he gonna do it in Rockefeller, Plaza, the ice skating rink? Like, how are they gonna do it? And then they just had him on stage, and
Yeah, but I mean, he came in, and I think he was a great choice. I think this was a real good match with this particular host. So I'm really glad that he was able to come in and do it. So I'm glad it worked out, and that's the bottom line for me.
yeah, absolutely.
So,
So yeah, yeah. Ed Sheeran, Kieran
mhm.
Culkin.
And we also got a little bit of host and musical guest news. We know now who is hosting and coming in as a musical guest for the next couple shows for the 14th and the 21st of November. On the 14th, we have Jonathan Majors and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, kind of surprising to. Well, not Taylor Swift. She's been on the show numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
She's like kind of one of their go tos.
She's
Uh,
hosted as well. Yeah.
yes, hosted and musical guest, and she's made the rounds. She's no newbie when it comes to the SNL game.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Majors, I was a little bit surprised to see him there. But at the same time, not really, because he's one of those actors that he's kind of on the come up. I don't know if too
He's an
many.
up and comer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
uh,
mean, the big thing, he was on the Loki show, I know. And he's going to be in the third Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp in, what is it called? Quantum Mania.
Quantumania. Yeah. And also he's done like a lot of good, solid dramatic acting. Like if I may put on my indie movie cap.
Oh, please do.
If,
I quite like your indie movie cap. It's very fashionable. It's
yes,
it's
it's
this lovely knit thing, and he looks badass in it,
it looks
ladies and
pretty.
gentlemen.
It looks pretty rad, people. Like
It looks pretty rad. It
my
looks pretty
little
rad. And when you wear that with your glasses, mwah!
yeah. It's like a nice little knit cap. Kind of looks like a Mike Nesmith's cap from the Monkees back in the '60s. It's a lot like that.
Right, right. It doesn't have the little fuzzball on top, but it does have the 8 buttons in the front. So,
Yes, of course. You know that's how you know I'm in business.
mhm.
But yeah, like I first knew about Jonathan Majors from the small indie movie he made not too long ago called The Last Black Man in San Francisco. It's a movie I really liked, and like I highly recommend everybody check it out. I believe it's on Amazon now. But
Mm,
he had some really good acting in that film. I thought he was like, oh wow, this might be a star making role. And then of course later on he went on to be in a Lovecraft Country on HBO,
mhm,
which I think that kind of gave him more exposure, and people kind of knew him more from that. They even kind of allude to it in a sketch from the Issa Rae. Oh no, it was a Cover Time sketch in the Issa Rae episode of SNL where she tries to describe Lovecraft Country to a bunch of people, and they all don't get it. But yeah, that was the show that Jonathan Majors was on, and he's also in a movie that's out now that came out last week called The Harder They Fall, which is on Netflix, and it's a spaghetti western with an all black cast. So
oh,
it's
cool. I think
yeah,
I
yeah,
heard about that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's him, Idris Elba, Regina King, Zazie Beetz, Lakeith Stanfield, Delroy Lindo, uh, Damon Wayans Jr.'s in it for a little bit. It's a pretty solid
Wow.
movie. Like I highly recommend people check it out.
That's a strong sounding cast. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Majors, he's pretty new to me. I did not hear of him, and I hadn't seen, as far as I know, I hadn't seen him in anything until he was announced that he was going to be playing King the Conqueror because I'm a comic geek, and that's my only point of reference in this world.
I wouldn't have known who Anthony Hopkins was until Thor came out.
I mean, I had no idea that who Marlon Brando was before he played Jor-El. That was the peak of his career.
Hey, who's playing Jor-El? I think this guy's got a future in the films.
To be fair, I was 6 when that movie came out. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? Fair enough, because like I didn't know who Bob Hoskins was until I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So like I get it.
hey, well, yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, however you discover somebody, that's a cool thing. So,
Right. So, but yeah, Jonathan Majors, great dramatic actor. He seemed to have a few comedic chops. He had some really funny parts in, like you said, when he was in Loki.
mhm.
So, like, I'm really interested in seeing what he can do to and bring to the show.
And we've got, oddly enough, another MCU host the week after that. We've got
Yes,
Shang-Chi, his own self, coming in.
yes. We have Simu Liu, Canada's own, as the host, and musical guest Sawiti. And I looked it up just to make sure I pronounced it right, and you do pronounce it Sawiti.
You see, I was nervous about pronouncing both of those names, and I was like, I'm going to let Darren do it.
I don't want to say anything, but yeah, one of my favorite parts of this podcast is to hear you sort of pronounce or try to pronounce rappers' names. It's it's it brings me joy.
I think the word is rapist.
A rapier, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes. I'm a big fan of the rapists.
Yes, a wah. Rapping Duke, he's great.
So yeah, that'll be cool too. I don't really know too much about either one of those guys. I'm following him on Twitter. I like how he had a nice sense of humor about his doing the stock photo modeling. Um, that was
Yeah, like
cool.
part of me think they might include that in a sketch because for those that don't know,
That would be funny. Yeah.
yeah. So for those that don't know, Simu Liu, he's a Canadian actor. He's also like a stuntman. He's for doing his own stunts like he did in Shang Chi.
Hmm.
He was also known for being in this show that was a huge hit in Canada called Kim's Convenience, which actually I watched and actually really I thought it was very good. It's a nice, pleasant, warm sitcom. It's about like a Korean family who run a convenience store in Toronto. Simple
Right.
premise, and
It's not about a character named Kim like Kimberly. It's about a family named Kim, right?
right, exactly. Their last name is Kim,
Right.
and it's a nice, warm, pleasant, fun little sitcom. I dug it. You can watch it. I don't think they put out any new episodes. I think it got canceled, unfortunately. But you can watch all the episodes that are out on Netflix now, and yeah, it's now he's like sort of becoming like a bigger star, a bigger name. Um, and when I see him in interviews, he's like super charming, super warm, likable, handsome. So
Hmm.
I think we're in for a good episode with this one. Like he's able to crack some jokes. Of course, he goes into the fact that he got to start being a like you said, like a stock photo model.
Hmm.
Like those little model, like those little pictures you see online of
And the
people.
internet was having lots of fun with that,
Yeah,
especially when Shang Chi was coming out. And speaking of like mispronouncing names, I found out because of this movie, I've been pronouncing Shang Chi wrong for like 30 odd years.
it's Shang Chi, right?
It's Shang Chi, and it's spelled like Shang Chi, which is how I, ignorant white dude, was pronouncing
Mm.
it.
Check
And
your
I think
privilege.
that's how most everybody in comics was pronouncing it. So
I think so, yeah. But they even have like I saw the movie. I know you didn't, but they even have a
yeah.
scene about like how to properly pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why once you see the scene, then you're like, oh, okay, now I
Yeah.
know.
Well, hey, I learned something, better late than never. So
Yeah. But yeah, now as far as Sawiti go, I don't know much about her. I know she's a rap artist.
a
Um,
rapist. Oh, okay.
yes, a
Yes.
rapier, and so I'm forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does, and I don't know. I really think the Simu Liu episode is going to be good. Like I think, especially once the monologue hits, I think he's going to win over the audience and everybody who doesn't know him by the monologue. Because he is very like charming and
Hmm.
gregarious, and like I think he's a good choice.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well, looking forward to those shows. Um, and speaking of charming and gregarious, I'd say that's a good description of this week's host, Mr. Kieran Culkin from Succession. Should we dive in?
Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. So, starting out, we had what's on YouTube called the Aaron Rodgers Trump Cold Open. So, we start out with Justice with Judge Janine Pirro, with Cecily returning to one of her trademark characters who had more or less like a goodbye sketch last year. But here she is in the cold open again.
Here we are, back again.
Here we are, back again. And had Pete Davidson as Aaron Rodgers talking about how he's not vaccinated and he's, quote unquote, the woke mob is coming after me because I'm not vaccinated and I know Joe Rogan and blah, 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 blah. And
yeah, it's a lot. I mean, for those that don't know, Aaron Rodgers, football player for the Packers, I believe. If I'm not we're not sports people here,
yeah,
but yeah, he it came to light that he is not vaccinated, but he kind of told his team that he was, or he didn't say he was vaccinated, but he said he was taking some other homeopathy type of remedy.
Yeah. He kind of implied it. He was like, oh, I'm immunized.
Yeah.
Which, does that mean you're vaccinated? Does that mean you had it and you think you're immune now? Does that mean you don't know what the hell you're talking about? So.
It's like, no, I'm good, guys. I've been drinking Robitussin, so let's do this.
And when Pete comes on, he's like, hey, remember when I hosted Jeopardy a little while ago? Because he was one of the guest hosts a few months back. So.
How times have changed.
And because it's not a cold open until we jam every news story from the weekend there, we also have Alex Moffat as Virginia Governor-elect Glenn Youngkin, who was the Republican who just barely got elected in Virginia. And we had another close election for the governor's race here in New Jersey with Phil Murphy getting reelected.
Yes, Murphy and Citarelli. I think it was one of those things where before the election, everybody was like, "Oh no, Murphy's got it. It's him. It's going to be another
Murphy." I mean, we were, of course, seeing the news here in New Jersey because that's where we live, and Murphy was, I think, at least 6 points ahead. Sometimes like as many as 10 points ahead for most of the early polling, and then when the election actually rolled around, it was much, much closer. And,
so I mean,
I was up till like 2, 3 in the morning that night, and just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god,
just watching the screen, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee.
Like, if I did either of those things, I would have been
like, oh god, man, not again! I can't do this again. Oh god.
Yeah, it's I'm sure my blood pressure was shooting way up there, but eventually it was just like, okay, I just have to go to bed, and then whatever happens, happens.
Right. But yeah, so then we had Moffat as Glenn Youngkin talking about, I believe Janine Pirro asked him, all right, so what is, you ran on the, about critical race theory, and he said, so what is it? And he was like, oh, it's what got me elected.
Yeah, he's being real vague about it because it's, it's just another one of these fake issues to get people riled up, it seems like.
Yeah, exactly. You just put the word woke or critical race in anything, not even really knowing what the words mean, but know it's enough to rile up your base to get them to vote for you and have them do whatever bidding you need them to do. And it's just,
exactly.
Do my bidding! Whoa, fly, my pretties, fly!
And then we have my favorite part of the sketch, which was Heidi as a parent who's on like one of Youngkin's committees or something, and she's just like this conservative mother who has insane takes on literature. She objects to Beloved by Toni Morrison because it's it takes the bold stance that slavery was bad.
All right, and it's a woman with a man's name, not in my America.
Yes. No, thank you. She doesn't like the book Holes because it sounds too sexual. Pride and Prejudice, she's like, oh, I like the Pride, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but
she said, no, the Prejudice is fine, but Pride is a word that was co-opted, by the gay agenda for the Lady Gaga parades, and I won't have it.
Yes, and then with Moby Dick, she was like, I hate the title, but I love that the whale is white. Right. Honestly, I wish the whole sketch was just this. I thought this was the strongest part of the sketch by far.
Yeah, The Great Gatsby. Too much jazz.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, that was wonderfully written. Heidi played it beautifully.
No, I agree.
And then we had James Austin Johnson debuting his Donald Trump impression on SNL.
The
He'd
cold
done a
open,
lot of this online before, but this was the first time he'd done it on the show, I believe, right?
yeah, the cold open kid coming in hot again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, did you? All right, so did this happen to you where when Janine Pirro said, "All right, we go now live to Donald Trump," did a little part of you think, "Oh, is Baldwin back?"
I don't think I really thought that because just, Baldwin's been in the news the last few weeks
Yeah,
for, I mean, my God, the worst possible reason.
yeah, Baldwin's a little busy these days.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think I ever seriously thought that. And also, like, because this is one of the rare times I didn't watch the show live. I conked out very early last night, so I watched it this morning. So I think I might have seen something online about it already.
Okay.
So I wasn't legit expecting it. What about you? Did you have that moment?
A little bit. I like when they said they were going to go to Trump. Like, I guess because we've had so many years of just Baldwin's Trump, Baldwin's Trump, Baldwin's Trump.
Yeah.
I thought for a little bit, all right, what's going to happen here? And then once they showed, JAJ as Trump, I was like, oh yeah, he has a Trump impression. And
Hmm.
even though we are a JL Colvan house here at SNL Nerds, his
Yeah.
uh his Trump impression, JAJ's Trump, not too bad, not too shabby.
It's a great impression. Tip of the hat to James Austin Johnson. I mean, I thought it was really strong. I think the problem for me is that I'm honestly at the point where I'm just burned out on Trump, even in impression form.
Mm.
Even and with him and Cecily's also brilliant Janine Pirro, the
Right.
sketch came off as very, very shrill, and it was just like
Mm.
I don't think I can even listen to the fake versions of these
Yeah.
people.
She does straight talk because she never talks gay.
Yeah, I mean, again, great line, beautifully played. I don't know.
Uh,
I'm in a delicate state right now, and I don't like being reminded that these people exist.
you're at that point where if you see a picture of Trump, you're like, no, no.
Yeah, it is, and I don't like using this word. It is kind of triggering in a weird way. Um, I did like when Trump first comes on, Alex Moffat as Glenn Young and just goes, "Oh, you can take me off the split screen," because he was like kind. From what I understand from the Virginia election, Youngkin was trying to uh, played
Distance
as a
himself.
Trump base with while still keeping Trump at an arm's length, or Trump was keeping him at an arm's length.
Yeah, like one toe in, one toe out type of thing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It was just like, oh well, whatever works to help get me elected, you know.
Yeah, like he would never say, "Hey, I'm not down with Trump," but then
Right.
he would never say, "I'm not down with Trump."
E- exactly, exactly. So I liked that where he was just like, oh, you can just take me off the split screen. Yeah,
Uh,
it was well played. I'm a little wary of these cold opens where it's like, let's jam all these unrelated news stories together, you know.
yeah, I guess I'm with you there. Like the one thing I did notice is that I mean, this is kind of it was a pretty long cold open. It's like 8 minutes, 8:50.
Hmm.
Literally half of it was James's Trump impression. Like he
Yeah,
comes in like 4 minutes in,
yeah,
and from 4 minutes to eight, it's literally just his Trump impression. He's pretty much the only one talking, and it's a good impression. But
yeah.
part of me was like, oh, less is more, guys. Let's chop this down a
And
little bit.
yeah, and he's doing that sort of Trump word salad type of thing. But I mean, after 5-6 years of just a steady diet of that, I have trouble even watching a parody of it. You
Yeah,
know?
I hear you. I mean, I look. This is a good cold open. I did like it, but part of me
Yeah,
thought I should have, shorten, take shorten this down a little bit. Just leave some of the goodness for later, for like another cold open or something. But I did
I
like this.
agree.
I did like this cold open, but I just wish it was a little bit shorter.
I agree. I agree. All right. Well, let's move on to like a nicer person is Kieran Culkin, and the monologue comes out. He's looking sharp. He's in a black tie and a purple vest and pants. Just
Yeah,
looking very fashionable, I thought.
sharp dressed man.
Sharp dressed man. Comes out, talks about he's had his second child in August. He's very excited because he's hosting SNL. And then he talks about how his brother Macaulay Mac to him hosted 30 years ago, almost to the day.
Yeah, I looked it up. Because I always thought Macaulay Culkin was like the youngest host ever. It turns out he is the second youngest.
Wait,
Uh,
Drew Barrymore was younger than him?
yes, Drew
Okay.
Barrymore. She was 7 when she hosted back in '82, and Macaulay was 11 when he
Okay.
hosted. He hosted November 23rd, 1991. So yeah, almost 30 years to the day.
That's and Kieran, who was 9, and he says I appeared in 3 sketches that night, 2 of which are non-problematic.
Yeah, so you guys go back and watch, and you see what he's talking about.
It's a great line. I didn't go back and look at the others. Are they sincerely problematic, or is that just a cool line?
I mean, I guess they could be. There was one where he was on like the with the super fans with the
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Dog Bears, and like they were recreating a like a Thanksgiving scene, and he played like one of the Native Americans. So
Oh,
I
okay. Yeah, I see that.
yeah, so you could I guess see that, and
And
he was
another one featured Rob Schneider, so I figured, well, just right there.
mm,
Um,
ooh, oh, he'll never come on this podcast now.
okay, I'm fine with
That's cool.
that. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
This, if this was your Twitter conversation, this is where I'd insert that Donald Glover. Good. Yes. um,
Oh boy. Oh, good
but
times. Good times.
I also saw a clip of Kieran Culkin on Fallon this week, and he talked about, because he was uh, there in Studio 8H when Mac was hosting. I feel like I can call him Mac because that's what
Yeah.
his brother calls him. Uh, he talked about how his mother introduced him to Kevin Nealon, and she was like, "Oh, you're his favorite," and because Kieran was 9 at the time, he had no filter, and he was like, "No, Mom, I said he was my second favorite. Dana Carvey is my favorite."
Yeah, that tracks.
And he says this right in front of Kevin Nealon when he's being introduced to Kevin Nealon. And he was like, and then I saw Kevin Nealon pull this little dagger out of his heart, and he was like, "Well, nice to meet you anyway."
Mom, go back, take this Kevin Nealon back, and bring me back a Dana Carvey.
Don't you come back until you're Dana Carvey, young man. Um, and Kieran also showed a cool clip of from when Macaulay Culkin hosted, where the cast members are like putting him up on their shoulders during the good nights, and then Kieran, typical little brother, was just like, "Hey, I want to be picked up too," and then he gets Kevin Nealon to pick him up, which was very nice for Kevin Nealon.
Yeah, he got the tallest guy in the place to pick him up.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see what he did there.
that's sweet. So I really liked Kieran Culkin in this monologue. I think he's a charming guy. I think this was another strong monologue for this season.
Yeah, short too. Like it's almost like a little over 3 minutes. Nice, short, to the point.
That's all you need. I mean,
Yeah.
you get a few good jokes. You get a nice sense of who the host is as a person. They don't do a song. We don't do questions from the audience. We don't do any of the stock bits. I really liked it.
Yeah,
That's all. This is all I want from a monologue.
yeah, this seems to be the way they're going
Yeah.
nowadays. Like, because like this again, this is we've had nothing but with all our hosts, all first time hosts too, where it's
Mm-hmm.
just them introducing themselves to the audience and getting some some nice little zingers, letting the audience know about who they are and their background, and that's pretty much it. Like at the end of this one, Kieran was saying, he hopes somebody, the some cast members lift them up like tonight
Yeah.
on the show,
Yeah.
and like as soon as he said that, I was like, all right, they're gonna lift them up at the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was a nice teaser. Unfortunately, don't have writing credits for this monologue yet. But kudos to you, whoever the monologue writer was for that.
Kudos to you, mystery writer.
Yeah. And hey, SNL, give us writing credits when you put stuff up on YouTube, please.
God,
Please.
we've been talking about, like, I don't understand why they don't care about the writers like we do. Like we want to know who wrote what. I mean, maybe it's a thing where they want everybody. It's like a communal thing. It's like, oh no, like we don't want people to know who wrote what. It's all SNL, baby. It's all ours. It's a communal thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I get that everybody contributes something, and that maybe you throw a line into a sketch that you didn't write, but I like knowing, hey, there's this sketch that I really liked. Who wrote this sketch so I can follow other sketches that they write? And I've become, since we started doing this podcast, I've become fans of particular writers. So,
Absolutely.
I would just like them to make it easier for us and not so we don't have to go through all this detective work of
Yeah.
like, well, let's go to this person's Instagram story and find out who they think. And
Yeah, we don't want to do all that detective work. Just give us what we want. Give us the good stuff.
and it's like the easiest thing in the world for them to fix too.
It is, but they don't want to do that, but
I don't
whatever.
know.
Whatever.
I don't know. Lauren, do something, please.
Yeah.
Throw, throw us a bone, Lauren.
Do what we say, Lauren. Make us happy.
Yeah. Throw us your bone. Need the info.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Well done,
so,
sir.
uh, anything else to say about the monologue?
No, it's nice, short, quick, to the point.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Boom. Next, first sketch, canceling cable. This is Kieran Culkin trying in vain to cancel his cable because he's moving, but getting the runaround from Spectrum.
Yeah. This one was written by Mikey Day, Tesha Condrat, and
Mm-hmm.
Streeter Seidel joint. And
Yeah.
it's like you said, simple premise: man trying to cancel his Spectrum cable subscription.
Yep.
And something most of us can relate to. Those of us that still pay for cable and and don't just get a bunch of streaming apps.
Yeah.
And it's just basically him getting the runaround through with all these Spectrum employees.
Yeah, and I mean, they're like, oh, and like the first thing they do, they offer him, hey, would you like to add a telephone landline? Which in 2021, no, you don't want to add a telephone landline. And they're like, well, why are you canceling? He's like, well, I broke up with my girlfriend and I'm moving. Oh, why did you break up with your girlfriend? I mean, just
there was a lot of stuff in there that I'll say it right off the top. To me, this was a sketch of the night. I really like.
I agree. I totally agree. This was just densely packed with jokes, and it had jokes that were calling back to things earlier in the sketch, and it paid off beautifully. I mean, like 80 as an agent saying like, well, as a security question, what city did your mom lose her virginity in?
It's like, and Kieran was like, I don't want to answer that. I'm really uncomfortable. That's disgusting. And she's like, yep, that's the answer you put down.
Yes. I mean, that was very funny. And also him responding, that's disgusting. I don't want to talk about that. That implies that he knows the answer.
Oh.
And how do you know that?
I don't know. Some moms be talking. I don't know.
Do you have a really open relationship with your mom? I mean, let's unpack that for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, Thanksgiving, the wine was flowing. Maybe she was like, hey,
who knows? Who knows?
Pop the cherry.
It's not a question I'd ever think to ask, but okay.
Way back in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Got my back blown out.
I mean, this used a lot of people. We had Ego come on. Her agent had kind of an attitude.
Yeah.
Not taking any crap.
My favorite part was like the parts where he was put on hold. And
yes.
you hear Cecily do the voiceover as like, the on hold voiceover where she would say things like, your call is important to us and will be answered in the order we feel like.
Yeah. Or, during a No Nut November, we have a number of sex scene free movies to watch.
Wi-Fi trouble? Try unplugging your router and spitting in it.
I mean, just the absurdity of that stuff, that was great. And she just delivered that beautifully. She's really versatile with the voice stuff.
Yeah.
Cecily is.
Have a question about your bill? Ask your husband.
Yeah. We had Keenan popping up periodically as an install guy to install the telephone landline.
I like at one point where he gets rerouted to a Domino's pizza guy. We see Andrew Dismukes being like, damn, yeah, Spectrum does this all the time. No worries, I'll transfer you to the cancellation.
Yeah, and I love that Dismukes is more on top of it than the Spectrum employees are.
It's like, and Kieran was like, yeah, you're more competent than anybody else I've talked to, and he's like, really, that's crazy because I'm high as hell.
And then we had the big climax with Bowen as Spectrum, who is like sort of like the great and powerful Oz,
right?
Where I'm the source, the nexus, the provider. I am made of pure data.
And we see Bone as just a floating head with electrodes on his temples.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was great. Built beautifully, had great callbacks. Just very strong sketch. Definitely sketch of the night. I totally see why they put it first.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that like a lot of people, who still pay for cable can relate to. And I don't know, it's just like you said, just joke after joke after joke, hitting everything, working great. It's a great premise, great delivery, great ending to it. Like sketch of the night, sketch of the night.
Sketch of the night. Next, we had a pre-tape called Car Heist, although they put the title up on screen just The Heist.
Yeah, this one, Mikey Day, Chris Red, and Streeter Seidel.
Yes, we had a thief played by Chris Red who's trying to steal this car. Mikey Day is the hacker who's supporting him. Kieran Culkin as the mastermind, and Heidi as like the rich lady client. And the joke here is just, he gets in, he breaks into the car, and he's about to drive off in it, and he doesn't know how to drive a stick.
Right. I think they're stealing like a vintage Lamborghini,
Yeah,
and this is sort of like a spiritual successor to that. It's all in the
it's in
game
the
sketch.
yeah. I thought the same. Yeah,
Yeah, because like Chris is playing, like you said, the thief, and he kind of has that same vibe about him, where he's like extremely confident, but at the same time extremely inept and not know how to do like the simplest things.
yeah. I love watching Chris Red play horribly oblivious people. He's really good at that, especially when he does like the crazy eyes.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And like then they have a scene where they try to talk him in how to driving a stick shift, which is something a lot of people, I don't know how to do that, but well,
I haven't done it since like I took driver's ed in high school.
Oh,
I
really?
haven't.
Oh, you can drive stick?
No, I
Oh,
no.
okay.
I mean, it's been 30 plus years. I think it's safe to say no. I cannot
All
drive
right.
stick. I got training in it, and when I took driver's ed, but I have not had to do it since.
Okay,
So,
that's more than me. But
no.
yeah. Yeah, so it's like one of those things where they try to walk him through it. They say, "All right, put your foot on the clutch, like, and then your other foot on the brake or the gas." And then
Yeah,
he says, "Wait, you want me to drive with 2 feet? Who am I, Fred Flintstone?"
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Um, this was funny. I thought it was pretty good.
yeah. I mean, it's a pretty simple premise. Um, yeah, they didn't drain it. They didn't drag it out too much, which I thought was
Yeah.
good. They didn't drag it out. They kind of this is pretty short sketch, which is good because like they didn't drag it out
Mhm.
too long. So they were like, all right, this is as far as we can go with it. And
And
yeah,
it was shot very impressively. It looked like a Gone in 60 Seconds type of movie or a Fast and Furious type movie, which is I'm sure is what they were going for.
yeah, very much so. Like the cinematography in a lot of these sketches is like mind blowing. It is like on
Yeah,
par with like it is like movie quality with some of these
yeah,
sketches.
and it's very impressive that they throw this. I mean, they like shoot these in a day and they edit them in like a couple days and they have it ready for the Saturday show. It's when you consider the timeline, it's amazing what they do in terms of quality.
Yeah. So overall, I thought this was a good sketch. In and out, cuts it off before it gets it drags too long. And as always,
Mhm.
Chris Red kills it. He's one of my
Yeah,
faves.
I mean, Red is great. He was there too.
He was there
Um,
too.
he was there too.
He was there too.
Next, we have Dionne Warwick Talk Show. This is the third time they've done this sketch. They did it in the Timothy Chalamet show that they reran last night on the 10 p.m. rerun, and also who was the other host when it was crap.
Oh,
I wrote it.
Nick Jonas, you said, I think.
Nick Jonas. Thank you. I was blanking on the name. I wrote it down somewhere and I couldn't find the note. Um, yeah. So Ego playing Dionne Warwick once again.
Yeah, and it pretty much hits the same beats as before. We have,
Mhm.
she sings instead of giving, information like you said, like I have a very important announcement, and she just sings "Raindrops Keep
Yeah.
Falling on My Head" or some other Burt Bacharach
Yeah,
song.
like this time she was getting up, she was supposed to get a booster shot, and she's so busy singing that she just doesn't get a booster shot, and then she walks back to her chair. I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah. We have Chloe Fineman come out as Miley Cyrus, who her
Mhm.
Miley Cyrus impression seemed a lot like her Tiffany Trump impression.
Mm.
Um, a little bit. If you go back and watch the Tiffany Trump and compare it to the Miley
Yeah, I'd have to
Cyrus,
look
like,
at it again. I thought it was a good Miley Cyrus impression. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, it was not, it was good, it was good. Of course, she asks Miley Cyrus kind of nonsensical questions that have nothing to do with her.
right.
Doja Cat, singer or Pokemon? Yes,
Uh, we had Kieran Culkin come on as Jason Mraz. I like how she just straight up introduces him by saying he's not famous anymore.
Damn.
Which, damn, just random Jason Mraz diss in the middle of our late night comedy program.
Poor Mraz.
Ed Sheeran comes on as himself. Pete Davidson comes on briefly as Post Malone and is escorted out immediately.
Because he's terrifying. Post Malone is terrifying to look at.
Yeah, and ultimately Dion just says, "I'm tired of talking to people who aren't icons. Please welcome me." And then the real Dionne Warwick comes out.
Jersey's own Dionne Warwick comes
Oh,
out on
she's from
stage.
Jersey. I didn't realize.
Yeah, East Orange, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Grew up not too far from her famous cousin Whitney.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so, I mean, what do you think of this when we have like the real person come on and interacts with the person doing the impression of them? That's one of SNL's go tos.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not. Sometimes it can be all right. Sometimes it can be kind of. And it's kind of weird. It's like where the two sort of entities exist in the same space.
Yeah.
It kind of.
You think it's going to like destroy the space time continuum like an episode of Star Trek?
I think so. Yes, I don't quite get that reference, but yes, that's exactly
Okay.
what it. Yeah, I mean sometimes it works.
Matter and antimatter meeting.
Okay, you're just talking fancy space.
I'm talking gibberish.
Look, I don't need to hear science. All right, I know Joe Rogan.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I mean overall, I thought this was very cute. Her saying, was it Ego asking Dion like, "Why are you so perfect?" And she says, "I'm not perfect. I'm just very, very good."
I watching this morning, I kind of got the feeling that this was all just part of Ego's elaborate plan to meet Dionne Warwick. And she was just playing the long game. She was like, I'm going to do a sketch about Dionne Warwick because she's made some tweets. And then I'm going to do this sketch. It's going to go well. I'm going to do the sketch again and again. And then finally, I will get to meet Dionne Warwick.
Well played, Ego. Well played.
So this sketch, by the way, written by Anna Drazen, Alison Gates, and Ego Nwadum.
Overall, I thought the sketch was okay. It seems like all the stuff leading up to the big, Dionne Warwick reveal at the end was kind of fillery. Like, it seemed like, it seemed like, all right, nice little Jason Mraz dig. I'm always here for that. But then, then we get the big reveal of Dionne Warwick coming in singing "What the World Needs Now." I was like, oh, all right, that's where this all led up to. This was nice.
Where it's all leading up to a nice Burt Bacharach number, which I certainly don't object to.
The more Burt Bacharach, the better. I've said this time and time again.
Exactly. I agree, and he should. And hey, do another episode with Elvis Costello.
Damn straight.
Another album, that is.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're cooking with gas, there, fella.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, this was fun. Yeah, the other impressions, it kind of felt like they just were like, okay, who here in the office has an impression we haven't put on the show yet? Kieran, you got anything? Well, I used to do Jason Mraz 15 years ago. Great, it's in the show.
Somebody get a fedora.
Good, go with it.
Yeah, it seemed like filler, but like the ending I thought was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was fun. Next we had Men's Room with Bowen and Chris walking into the men's room, and they're just Kieran joining them a short time later, and they all have inner monologues because they're all just saying weird stuff to fill the awkward silences in a men's room, and I really like this.
This was good. This was written by the Please Don't Destroy guys, Martin Herlihy, John Higgins, Ben Marshall, along with Chris Red and Bowen Yang. And yeah, it's basically kind of about, a men's room kind of, not etiquette, but like just a men's room vibe about how when you go into the bathroom with somebody or you recognize them, you just say weird things and you can't.
You feel like you have to acknowledge the person some way because of like just social pressure, I guess.
Yeah, like you say things like, "Oh, football is crazy."
Yeah. I remember this reminded me of like at one of my old jobs. When I was working for a video game developer, and I would walk in, I'd be like standing at the urinal doing what you do when you're standing at a urinal, and then my boss would sometimes walk in and then be at the urinal next to me, and he'd always have to say something, and I'm like, I'm a quiet guy. I don't want to talk in the men's room, and he'd always be like, "Yeah, I think it's a good thing we're doing this on this particular game," and I'd just be like, "Can this conversation wait like 5 minutes?"
I can't go.
I don't. I really don't want to talk business with you when I have my dick in my hand.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the weird. Yeah, like there's like a whole men's room etiquette, like
Yeah,
where just don't talk to the guy. Just look straight ahead, do what you gotta do, and go
right.
leave. Wash your hands, leave, and then
And
that's
if
where
you
you
can
can look.
help it, don't take the urinal right next to the guy. You put as much space between each other as you can.
Yeah, which is something they bring up in the sketch where
Hmm.
Kieran used the urinal right next to Chris Red, and he's like, "Oh, why did
Yeah.
I choose the urinal right
Why
next
did
to him?"
we're
Or,
touching arms?
oh my
What?
god, yeah. If somebody like pees in the urinal right next to you, and there's tons of other free urinals, that's weird.
It's
Don't
weird.
don't
It's
do that.
disconcerting, and it's yeah,
Like, man, come on, man. Give your fellow man some space.
yeah. And women, from what I understand, they go into a women's room. They form alliances, and they're a big community.
Yeah,
Uh,
it takes a village.
exactly, exactly.
I also liked how when Alex Moffat comes in, and
Hmm.
we hear all these other people's their inner monologues, and he goes in and he gives his inner monologue and says, "I killed a man in 2012,"
Yeah, I
and
didn't
like,
even do a good job hiding the body. It's
yeah,
amazing I haven't been caught. And he's like, "This is my one moment of peace and day," because he's so overwhelmed by the guilt. I mean,
yeah,
what a turn!
yeah. I didn't see that coming. And then at the very end, we get another celebrity cameo because out from the bathroom stalls, who should emerge? Mr. Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan.
I just used the bathroom.
And Tracy Morgan comes out and he sees Alex Hoffman and just goes, "This dude killed my brother."
And the end of sketch.
Yeah, nice ending to the sketch.
I see. I thought the ending could have been stronger, but
Uh huh.
I don't know. Just because the way it ended with Tracy Morgan coming out and
Yeah.
pointing to Alex Moffat, like, "You killed my brother." Like,
Yeah.
I thought, all right, and then it just cuts, and that's it. I thought, like, because everything
I
else,
noticed when I looked at this on YouTube, they either edited it down slightly or they went with the dress rehearsal version. But on the live show, when on my recording of the live show, there was like a bit of an awkward moment after Tracy Morgan goes, "This dude killed my brother." We see them like sort of milling about, and like one of the guys jumped up in the air for a moment. So I don't know if they just edited it down slightly or if they switched to the dress or a rehearsal version.
yeah,
But
because like I saw it live, and I remember when it aired. I guess because maybe he got more of a applause than he thought. But yeah,
mhm.
it's like you said. Like he said, that dude killed my brother. But I don't remember even hearing that. I think maybe the audience applauded too much.
It might have been drowned out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
there was this weird type of pause where no one knew what to say, and then it just
Mhm.
ends with like everybody kind of jumping up and down, cheering, being like, "Hey!"
Because they'd literally run out of dialogue. So,
That's that UCB improv training right there.
whew. Yeah, but this was fun. I enjoyed this because it's just, it was a nice observation of a human behavioral quirk, you know?
I liked this sketch up until the end. I thought it needed a strong, like, I could have seen myself really love this sketch,
Hmm.
but it kind of fumbled towards the end, so I just liked it. If it had a stronger ending, I would have been like,
Wow.
oh, this. I feel like if it had a stronger ending, it would have been a contender for sketch of the night for me.
So the beloved Tracy Morgan coming back and making a cameo appearance, that isn't enough for you, Darren Patterson.
Nope.
Okay. All right. We know where he stands.
I said what I said.
Okay. Okay. Oh
I love seeing Tracy Morgan, and
no, 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 no. Don't try to backtrack now.
no,
Yeah,
I just
you're committed, my friend.
I just forgot about the sway he has in this town. I just want to clarify. I love Tracy Morgan. I love everything he does. Things I said back a few minutes ago. I said that when I was young and crazy
Right,
and
right.
ignorant. Now I'm older and wiser, and I made no ill will towards Tracy Morgan or his friends and family. Please
Okay.
hire me, and if you can, Mr. Morgan, see it in your heart to book me on future, stand-up shows. Thank you. I'm available.
All right.
Whew!
Uh,
I covered that up pretty well, huh?
oh yeah, yeah. That you that hole just kept going deeper and deeper. Um, Next, we had another pre-tape called "The Jockey." This is the Kentucky Derby. The the regular jockey, his legs broken in 6 places, I think they said. So they get a last minute substitute,
Yeah,
and it's
it's kind of played like it looks like it's set in the 40s or something like that in the beginning, where and it's kind of has like a Seabiscuit type of vibe to it, like a dramatic film.
mm-hmm.
And then Chris Red is in. He's like, oh, I think I know a replacement, somebody who's special enough to ride that horse to the finish line. And then of course they cut to the race, and then
Yeah,
they cut to Kyle Mooney as one of the jockeys. He looks over, sees Kieran Culkin dressed in like 90s ska punk era, attire, and like
yeah.
surfing the horse like it's a skateboard.
This was like this easily could have been like a Disney movie uh, where like the kid is playing in the NBA or he's back in King Arthur's court or something like that. And I can't remember the titles of any of these, but it was that type of thing. He's like this '90s kid. He's riding the horse like a skateboard.
Yeah, and then we hear some narration from him. It's like it's pretty crazy, right? I know what you're
You're
thinking.
probably wondering how I got into this situation.
Yeah, and then they go into a straight up '90s ska type of music video explaining
Yeah,
how Kieran Culkin's character Toby Bird, get it, Tony Hawk, huh? And like how he used to be a
I
skateboard.
didn't get that at all.
You really did.
I did not. That went totally over my head. But
Oh dear. But yeah, he was a skateboarder in the '90s until he jumped on top of a horse and realized he can ride horses like skateboards really well, and
right,
it just
right.
shows him sort of grinding.
What was the one where the kid's arm gets injured and the way it heals, it suddenly makes him able to pitch in the big leagues?
Oh, is that Rookie of the Year? I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. It was one of the kids who grew up to when a few years later he was in the American Pie movies.
Yeah, I think that's Rookie of the Year. Funky Butt
Okay,
Lovin'.
okay. It was like Rookie of the Year, but with a horse and ska songs. And
So if that sounds like something right up your alley, you're gonna love
yeah,
this sketch.
um, I did like how at the end of this he gets tossed by the horse and trampled to death. I thought that was a nice turn.
Yeah, yes,
Um,
hilarious.
and Kieran in his '90s haircut wig, I thought it somehow made him look strangely like Chris Kattan.
Interesting. All right.
Probably coincidental, but I thought the filming in this was impressive, but I found it more odd than funny.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of people online kind of compare it to that tiny horse pre-tape that Timothy Chalamet did.
Which I was also so on. Yeah,
But yeah, like I thought this was okay. It's more odd than weird than funny,
yeah,
and I mean, look, I like '90s ska just as much as the next Joe, but like you need kind of more than that to carry the sketch. But like the fact that he
yeah.
got trampled to death that did save it a little bit for me.
Yeah, I liked that turn at the end, and I mean, hey, it ate up a few minutes of network TV time. It was 3 minutes of network TV time dedicated to a ska song about him being a horse jockey
Right, and in the
riding a
end,
horse like a skateboard. So I admire that they got that weirdness on NBC.
right, in the end, isn't that all that really matters?
That's all that really matters.
But yeah, I didn't write too many notes about this. I thought
No,
it's like
no, I
all
mean
right,
more odd than funny just sums up my feelings well.
yeah.
All right, so next we have our musical guest for the week, Mr. Ed Sheeran. Did two numbers, of course, as SNL musical guests are wont to do. First number was Shivers.
And yeah, then it was Overpass Graffiti.
Mm-hmm. I thought both of these were just fun pop tunes, just very catchy, fun, zippy. I mean, I think his new album sounds really strong from what I've heard of it.
Yeah, I mean Ed Sheeran, you can kind of see why they really wanted to have him on the show, just because
Mm-hmm.
he's a super popular musician, has a huge fan base, and he makes nice,
Mm-hmm.
fun, pleasant pop songs.
Yeah, he's very fun and unthreatening, and um, every once in a while, I'm reminded that like Ed Sheeran, he has like all these tattoos on his arm. And he
Yeah,
usually wears long sleeves, so they're covered up. And whenever he's wearing short sleeves and I can see his tattoos, I'm like, oh, right, he's really tatted up. And it just seems weird to me. He doesn't seem like a guy who should be tatted up.
yeah, it's like seeing like Mr. Rogers with a nose ring or something.
Exactly. It seems out of context somehow.
It's like
And,
what are you doing with that, man? Hey,
I mean,
hey,
hey,
you.
if you want to be tatted up, yeah, tat up all day. But
Yeah, but like you have all these like crazy, like a sleeve attached, and you're singing, I'm in love with the shape of you.
exactly,
Stuff
exactly.
like that.
It's a little odd. Um, but I like Ed Sheeran. He seems nice. He's a talented guy. He seems to have a good sense of humor about himself. And yeah, I really liked his songs. I'd say he's my favorite musical guest of the season so far.
Ooh, wow, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought his music's okay. It's nice. It's fun.
Hmm.
Non-threatening. It's nice.
We keep going to non-threatening.
I mean, come on. Where else are that's his bread and butter.
It's important for us to feel unthreatened by the
Yes,
musical guests
exactly.
on
You
SNL.
can play this in front of your grandma. She'll be cool with it. It's not you,
Exactly.
you won't be triggered by the music.
Exactly. Well, I looked at the comments on his performances on YouTube, and people were like, "Oh, I like that he acknowledges his whole band at the end of the number," and he like went through and gave everybody a fist bump, which that's nice.
Yeah. No man is an island. It takes a village. Again,
Yeah,
that's the second time I said that in this episode. I don't know why I keep saying
it
that.
is. It is. That book made a big impression on you,
It really
apparently.
did. It really changed my life, man.
But so, anything else about Ed?
No, I'm good.
Glad you don't have COVID, Ed.
Yeah. Way to beat the Rona.
Exactly. Next, we have Weekend Update with, let me look it up, Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Che?
Che.
Che.
Che. Um, why is Update so deep into the show now? I looked at the time on my VCR and it was like 55 minutes into the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the time, it's been like that for a while now. Like I don't know if that's just where it airs now, or if like the timing has been off and they've just gone long in the front half.
I feel like it has to be an intentional change, but I can remember when Update was like, you were seeing Update around midnight or like 12:10 at the latest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's like 2/3 of the way into the show. It's just weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I don't know. This is a bold new change they're making, I guess.
I guess. Um,
Yeah, but for the most part, Jost and Che come in with some pretty solid jokes.
mhm.
There was that one that Che had about the
Losers from Virginia usually get a statue.
right, exactly, because he was talking about
I love that line. That's a great line.
Glenn
And then
Youngkin.
they of course cut to a Confederate statue.
Yeah, and the audience was like, "Yo, that's crazy, Che. You crazy for this one, son."
And New Jersey also got a mention. He talked about New Jersey Senate President Edward Durr, who was a truck driver who spent, I think, literally $150 on his campaign, and he somehow got elected.
Yeah, like he's somebody who's never served in any type of office at all, and he was just a truck driver, and now here he is running things.
Yeah, and they said their joke there was Durr is also the new New Jersey state motto.
Uh, uh
I checked on this. I googled this. That is not the case.
what?
No,
That's not accurate. That's
that was a thing that they made up for joke purposes.
huh.
Yeah,
All right, I'll take your word for it, but I mean,
yeah, I
mm.
know it weirds me out too. But
Joe's had a great joke talking about how Trump was seen at the Indians game doing the tomahawk chop, and
mm-hmm.
Native Americans, of course, were offended that their culture was co-opted by a man who can't even run a successful casino.
That was a good line. I wrote that
Not
one
bad,
too.
not bad line, not bad.
Then we had Keenan appearing as Ice Cube. Ice Cube in the news this week because he was fired or let go from a movie because he refused to get vaccinated.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in this comedy with Jack Black called "Oh Hell No." Um, I'm not even. I'm
That
not.
seems like a made-up title.
I swear that's it.
That seems like the title you would find in a parody sketch about Ice Cube.
I swear I'm not making this up. It's real. Oh hell no.
It's called Oh Hell No. Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
That's it. Oh hell. That's where we're at in showbiz. So
Why?
I don't.
Why does it come to this?
I don't know, man.
Okay, I just want to rant about that title for 5 minutes.
All right, go ahead. And
No, it's okay.
so he was supposed to be in Oh Hell No with Jack Black. They were going to pay him $9 million. The studio was like, "Hey, Ice Cube, we need you to take this vaccine before you can shoot.
And he said, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, "That's a great, brilliant, hacky title. Let's make that the name of the film." Thanks, Ice Cube.
And you're fired. I feel like they came up.
It's called "Oh Hell No."
Yeah,
I still can't believe it.
somebody greenlit that.
Some executive saw that on a sheet of paper and was like, "Yes, that's the title."
They stamped approved, big red letters.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Mm.
uh,
Oh boy. Yeah. So yeah. Then we had what the hell were we? Oh yeah. So we had Keenan come out talk as Ice Cube, talking
yeah.
about why he wouldn't get the vaccine. He kind of danced around it. Called repeatedly called Michael Che bozo.
Yeah, I thought this was painful. I didn't think it was a good impression. I just yeah, I was thinking through half of this. I was like, why isn't this Chris Red? I'm sure Chris Red could pull off a better Ice Cube than this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. Like I thought.
It honestly just felt like something they shoved in there just to get Keenan on the show.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. Like
And
yeah.
and honestly, like I mean, Keenan, he still does strong stuff at times, I think, but a lot of weeks he just feels like a vestigial limb, you know?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's just a lot of times I look at Keenan and I'm just like, why are you still here?
People like him. He doesn't want to see him to leave. No one wants to see him go. I think it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I guess. I just I don't entirely get it.
Yeah, I mean it's. I mean,
The Keenan train has kind of left me at the station at this point.
right. You're
You know,
just you're just stuck outside of Keenan Town,
I'm outside of Keenan Town.
and we're living here in Keenan Town.
Yeah, because
Factories down.
I mean, have we not had enough Keenan at this point?
I mean he is good in places. I will admit that
Yeah,
he's strong, but yeah, part of me thinks again, yeah, we've kind of seen everything he can do, but he just seems
yeah.
he
We
just
saw everything he could do 10 years ago
people.
when he was on the show for 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, people just like him around. He's just, I don't know.
Again, the people who were born during Keenan's first season can vote now.
That's a fact. Yeah.
In a couple more years, they will be able to drink.
Oof.
That's a long time. That's enough for anyone. If your name isn't Lorne Michaels and you've been on SNL for 20 years, I think it's probably time to go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an anomaly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People seem to like him. But yeah, I mean, as far as this segment, yeah, I think I'm with you. I thought it was okay. I mean, the jokes weren't the strongest. I didn't even really write any of them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
No, I was just like, okay, well, how long until this bit is over?
yeah.
And what kills me is they posted a cut for time thing with Kyle Mooney called A Guy Named Brandon on Let's Go Brandon. I thought that was way funnier.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I guess I could bring it up now. But one of our fans
Yeah.
on Twitter said that exact same thing. I'll bring it
Yeah.
up now because we're talking about it.
Yeah, why not?
A fan of the show, a longtime fan, Manette Marati said the Ice Cube Weekend Update segment felt unnecessary given that they already did something about Aaron Rodgers in the cold open. Should have been cut entirely to shorten Weekend Update or replaced with Kyle Mooney's update piece, which I'd agree with.
100% agree. 100%. I
But
mean, it was the Let's Go Brandon thing. It was Kyle Mooney as this kind of endearingly clueless guy named Brandon who thinks all the Let's Go Brandon stuff that's been in the news lately is people encouraging him and but it's actually a veiled way to say F you Biden.
right,
Which I still don't get.
I don't want to. I don't want to look into it. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
I haven't gone too deep on it either, but I will just say, like, if your opinion has to be coded, that's probably a good indicator that it's not a good take. That's
mm-hmm.
not a good opinion if you have to be like, oh, how do I just send this secret signal? How do I do the little racist okay sign? And
Yeah, like if your opinion is something that you feel is right and just, you should just be able to say it without having to use like coded language and messages.
yeah,
Because like if you need to hide what you're saying, maybe there's a reason for that. Because you're afraid of the backlash. Because maybe what you're thinking and saying is shitty. I don't know.
yes, yes.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. So I thought the Brandon, the guy named Brandon thing, I thought that was a nice way to address it, and it was a cool way to kind of take it, and also like spread the word about what this "Let's Go Brandon" shit means. Which it took me a few days to like catch on to like, wait, why is that offensive? So
Yeah, like again, it's something I'm sure if I looked into it and went online, I could find out. But I don't even want to dip my toe in that whole like
yeah, yeah,
that
we would be
world.
horrified. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't even want that in my Google search history.
yeah. I'd have to scrub my laptop clean and or just maybe burn it,
Yeah, yeah.
set it on
Um,
fire, get rid of the evil spirit.
so yeah, that 100% should have been a weekend update instead of the Ice Cube bit.
Uh,
It was way funnier, had way more of a point. Um,
yeah, absolutely. So and then the next weekend update segment, Goober the clown. Uh,
Goober the Clown. Wow.
wow, this is the one I've seen a lot of people talk about.
Yeah, this. I mean, I went back and I watched this like two or three more times because I just I had to absorb it and
Right.
yeah,
This one was a punch because I mean I've
yeah.
said it before. Like I think I probably said it in a couple episodes ago where I thought maybe people like Cecily and 80 have been on the show for a little too long. They needed like last season should have been their last
Thank
season.
God she didn't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
Like then
God she didn't leave because it meant we got this.
yeah, no, she comes out with something like this and totally proves me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically she comes out as this character called Goober the clown who had an abortion when she was 23.
Right.
And I mean I don't even know how to explain this.
I'm yeah. I feel like a little wary of addressing it because it was. I mean, it was obviously like coming from a real place, and she's sort of. I can only assume she's like telling her own story in a veiled way, and I understand. Um, uh, One of the Twitter accounts said that like she used to work at a Planned Parenthood when she was in Chicago,
Hmm.
and she was the one who would like pick up the phone and open the hate mail and shit like that. Um,
Right. But yes,
so,
I mean, so basically, her character is a clown that talks about abortion, but I
mhm,
mean, the way she plays it as a clown because it's very frustrating in this country because you can't have an open, honest discussion about it. So she
right.
decided to be like a clown because that's the only way people feel comfortable talking about such a
Talking
serious.
about this awkward subject. I mean, look at how awkward we're being right
Yeah,
now.
I'm being very careful right now. I'm not being flippant like I was about Tracy Morgan. This is
No,
I'm walking a
no.
tightrope
I
right now.
mean, exactly. I mean, because this is like abortion is one of those topics where it's like handling nitroglycerin, and if you don't address it or treat it in just the right way, you're it's going to get misconstrued. Or I mean, this I thought this was brilliant. This is like on another level
Yeah,
stuff.
like I mean the way she
I
handled
mean,
it, where she was just
mhm.
talking about,
Like don't listen to us babble about it.
yeah.
Just go to YouTube and watch it. Just watch it,
Don't
man.
listen to us two cis men talk about this because we don't know what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
because what I'm going to be 100%
Oh,
honest.
keep it real, son.
What we have to say about this does not matter. Go watch what Cicely did.
Right.
Google Goober the clown and Cecily Strong, and you should find it.
No, absolutely,
And yeah, just watch it because it needs to be seen by as wide of an audience as possible.
absolutely. I mean there were points where she was like you said, like bringing the clown element into it, like the squirting
Hmm.
flour, the spinning
Yeah,
bow tie.
I
Uh,
will say that I love that even in this character, she still found a way to soak Colin with water. I
yeah,
like that she kept that tradition alive.
yeah. I mean, did you
Uh,
notice that like at one point after she squirted him with the flour, like Colin's mic seemed to go off or something like that? Like his
yeah,
audio sounded
yeah,
weird after it.
yeah. I think the water shorted his mic for a bit because I guess it dripped somewhere it shouldn't. And also, like she's doing a balloon animal, and the squeaking of the balloon was screwing things up a little.
Yeah, I like how she had a bike horn that didn't work. At one point,
It was very endearing when she was trying the clown stuff and it didn't 100% work.
she had to
That really got you
yeah she had to go honka honk.
on her side, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, that I mean,
this was one of the standout things of the night. I mean, I know we already said that the
cable, the canceling cable.
the cable thing was the sketch of the night. I mean, but this is obviously the highlight of Weekend Update. And
Right. This is like something. This is like there's like a whole nother beast. This whole part where it's like it's not.
yeah,
It's I don't know. I can't explain it, but like
I
is
mean this is one of the top 10 things that Cecily's ever done on the show. I think.
you know I'd agree with you. It's like this and the the tank of red wine she got into at the end of the last season. They're up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's fearless, but it was very brave. I mean, because you could tell at times that this was a tough thing for her to talk about in any context.
Yeah. No,
And
this came from a
I
real
mean,
place.
yeah, I mean, I just have endless admiration for her for having the bravery to do it and go there.
Yeah. I mean,
That was incredible. Um, I don't think I don't think we have credits for who wrote this with her. I'm
uh,
assuming she co-wrote it with somebody.
yeah, I can't. I don't see anything up right now, but
Yeah.
when we find out,
But
we'll tweet it out or something.
yeah, but oh my god,
Oof.
that was amazing.
She's a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse.
She's a powerhouse. She's a powerhouse.
She's a
Oh, I
brick
am
house.
just to backtrack a minute. The guy named Brandon on Let's Go Brandon that was co-written by Mike DeCenzo and Kyle Mooney. So just to give credit where credit's due, there we don't have credit for Good with the Clown yet, but it's amazing. Go watch it.
Absolutely. But yeah, overall weekend update, not too bad. With the exception of the Ice Cube thing. Solid
Yeah.
jokes throughout, and I mean the ending on the
Mm-hmm.
Cecily Strong segment. That was
Yeah, I'm glad they had the sense to end with
yes,
that one because I mean, yeah, what do you do to follow that?
yeah. I mean,
With
if they cut that, that would have been just like, what are you doing?
yeah, yeah.
All right, so next sketch, we got a Weatherman.
Weatherman, a morning talk show called Wake Up Rhode Island. Cecily and Keenan are the actors. Our host, Kieran Culkin, is the weatherman, and he's dressed up as Turkey Tom for Thanksgiving and starts to do a rap about Thanksgiving. And then he finds out that because he's been so busy preparing that, he's ignored a severe storm alert and neglected the weather reports that this huge storm was approaching the area.
Yeah, pretty hilarious. It's one of those things where it took a while for that turn to happen. Where it's like you said, it's like a morning show, Rhode Island. They went
Uh-huh.
to a reporter who was remote at the beach talking to a Boy Scout leader and his Boy Scouts talking about how they were
Mm-hmm.
cleaning up the
Yeah,
beach. Then they cut to the weatherman, Kieran Culkin, in a turkey hat and like a brown leotard,
yeah.
and he was about to bust out a Thanksgiving rap.
Mm-hmm.
And like you
And
said,
then he realizes the severity of the storm report, and he's like, "Oh, should I go change? Should I at least take this headdress off?" And everyone's like, "No, no, no! This is really urgent. You have to."
hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I liked how like when the storm alert came on, you heard the voiceover, them saying,
yeah,
"Oh, severe storm alert, it's a huge nor'easter. Take only what is necessary. Leave your pets behind. May God have mercy on your souls."
yeah. Um, I I thought this was pretty good. I didn't think it really went to great. I think I liked the idea of this a little more than the execution of it.
Um,
But I did like that they called back to the Boy Scout troop and we just had dead Boy Scouts because they were caught in the
right.
storm. Apparently, I just like comedy sketches where we kill people at the end.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at now.
you're a morbid
Uh,
motherfucker.
yeah. I like those dark turns. Apparently, I learned something about myself
Death,
this week.
death amuses me. Oh god. But yeah, overall, I mean, I thought that. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. This sketch, I thought it was good. I did like it, but I feel like it was missing a little something. I'm trying to
Yeah,
put my finger on
and
what.
it's one of those things I can't quite put my finger on where it might have been lacking. And yeah, maybe it's just me. It seems funnier to me when I'm describing it than when I was watching it.
Yeah, I do like the premise and I do like what they did with it, but like it's missing
Mhm.
an extra something. Maybe you need like a stronger ending.
Maybe we needed more dead kids. I don't know.
Wow, wow.
I don't know.
Oh boy. Oh boy, it's getting hot. It's hot in here. It's hot. Are you hot?
Um,
It's hot.
I mean, maybe it needed a Tracy Morgan cameo. I don't know.
Who's gonna pick up all these dead children?
See, I'm laughing already.
Crazy. Oh,
Finally, wrapping up the night, we had another Please Don't Destroy joint, another pre-tape with them called Calling Angie, where John Higgins, he's just broke up with his girlfriend Angie, and he expresses real regret to the guys about the things he did wrong in the relationship, and they're all like, "Oh, that's great. You should just call her and tell her that." And then when he calls her up, he just calls her up and says, "Fuck you." I like this.
yeah. These Please Don't Destroy guys. They kind of carved out their own little niche a little bit. Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these sketches aren't too long. They usually go for about 3 minutes or so, and it's just kind of like a bunch of lovable, pleasant, weird nonsense.
Yeah, they're just these clueless schlubs in their office at SNL,
Yeah.
and just kind of their misadventures. I like that we're already getting a sense of what their personalities are like and what their sense of humor is like. I think this is only their second Please Don't Destroy sketch that's gotten on the show. They've had like a couple that are cut for time.
Right. The Rami Malek one that got cut, but it was funny.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
And Sarah Sherman popped up at the end as the ex girlfriend Angie.
Yeah,
At
like
the end. So.
yeah, she like bust in the room, kind of dressed up like a mob wife, like a real Peggy
Mm-hmm.
Bundy vibe.
Yeah. Leopard print going on.
Yeah, it's like it's like
Yeah, I like this. This was funny. I look forward to seeing more of these guys.
yeah, I like the one. I believe it was Ben who, because like at one point all the other guys are talking about all the girls they've lost, and I think Martin
Mm-hmm.
says, "Yeah, I lost my girlfriend. It was all over after I got caught with my penis. I got my penis stuck in her toilet."
Right.
And I think the other guy, Ben, was like, yeah, like I lost her because after we'd had sex, I would say, ah, chihuahua. She
I did have like a moment of confusion because um, before the Achihuahua joke, he said his ex girlfriend's name is Stevie, and when I heard the name Stevie, I was just like, wait, is that a dude? Is
oh,
this person talking about an ex boyfriend?
it could,
And I just had that moment of confusion because of the name, and I don't know if they were using like their real ex girlfriends'
wow.
names or something, but I feel like it might have been better if we didn't have the name Stevie,
Yeah.
so we didn't have that.
Maybe
I personally did not have that moment of confusion
maybe he did.
because
Maybe he did Stevie Nicks. Who knows?
who knows? Who knows? That's my point. Is I don't know, and that all SNL sketches should cater to me exclusively
Absolutely. I think if we learned
and
anything,
my tastes and desires. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask.
if we learned anything, like consult John Trumbull first before you go ahead and make a sketch for Saturday Night Live. Run it.
Well, I mean, not so much consult. You don't have to like call me up, but just take a moment, stop, and say, "Hey, what would John think of this, and how can we gear it towards him?"
That's why that's right. All the SNL writers make a bracelet that says WWJTD, and then just
Yeah,
look at it and be like, yeah, what would John Trumbull do?
right,
As,
right.
as when you're before you write your sketch.
I mean, that's just a good guide to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, wait, I take that back. That's a horrible guide to life.
It's
Don't model your life after me.
don't be.
Because I think the last 49 years have demonstrated I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Wow, oh, shit's getting real. All right, do you want to talk, man?
No, that's good. That's an off-air conversation.
Oh boy! All right.
So, and then we had good nights. And nice thing about the good nights is we see Chris Red and Keenan come in and they lift Kieran up on their shoulders.
King of the world.
Yeah, I mean that was cute. We knew it was coming, but
We did.
it was still cute. It still worked. Damn it.
That's right. Still real to me, damn it. Yeah, and that's the episode. Overall, I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was a good show. It might be the strongest of the season so far.
All right.
I think the top half of the show in particular was pretty strong. Um,
I'll give you
the
that. Yeah.
the cable cancellation, mwah. Um,
Cable cancellation, solid. Men's room. It was really close to being like amazing. I really almost became like I
yeah, you
loved it.
thought the ending was a little weaker than I did.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from there.
yeah, but I still liked the sketch. I still liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, Cecily's performance. People are going to be talking about that for a while.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's
The weekend episode.
I mean, just I can't say much more than just wow.
Wow.
I mean, just the writing and the performance there, I thought were just amazing. And I love it when comedy has a real legitimate point to make, and this really, really did, because it was obviously inspired by the that horrible Texas law that's come through. And
oh boy, yeah. So I mean, but yeah, like I like how this this season overall, like the shows are getting better. I think we were kind of in an agreement. Like the first two shows, like the Owen Wilson and the Kim Kardashian, were okay, but like the last three, Rami Malek, Jason Sudeikis, and now this, so it's like, oh, these are all solid episodes. Like we're
on
a good
an upward
right now.
trajectory. Yeah, I mean, I think the most you can ever hope for a Kim Kardashian show is okay, and they probably achieved that.
We did it. Mediocrity achieved. That's all.
But they get. I mean, you get a Kim Kardashian West on your show. There's a certain ceiling. Let's be real.
Oh wow, hot takes left and right tonight.
Yeah. Why hold back?
Oh God.
What have I got to lose?
It's all over anyway. What the fuck?
It's all over.
What? Whatever, man.
Whatever. So I don't know. Yeah. Anything else to say about this one?
No, I can't think. Solid episode. I think Kieran Culkin did a pretty good job.
No Kate McKinnon this week.
Still no Kate. She's probably still in Australia.
Yeah. Oh, is that where she is?
Yeah, she's been filming the Tiger King movie.
Oh, I didn't know that was where they were filming it. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
She's down.
Okay, well, no wonder.
Yeah, she's down.
No wonder she's been gone.
Yeah, she's down under.
I don't think Aristotle popped up at all this week.
No Aristotle. A little bit of Melissa.
Yeah.
Who else?
Light Show for 80.
Light Show for 80. Now I'm just going through the whole cast in my mind.
I know. There's so many now. There's so many folks to keep track of. It's tough, and it's got to be tough to get everybody in there.
Yeah, it seems like I think everybody else got on at least once. So
yeah, it's just such a crapshoot, though.
Yeah, but like Aristotle and Sarah got the that little thing in the Please Don't Destroy. But yeah, that was pretty much it for her.
She got that, and she was she popped up briefly along with Melissa in the cable cancellation.
Shit, that's right. You're right. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, solid show. I dug this one.
Solid show. I mean, not much of anything that like made me cringe outside of the Ice Cube thing, I would say.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, and if I don't cringe, I think that's a pretty good show.
No cringe, thumbs up.
Yeah. So, next week, Jonathan Majors, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, like I think we talked about it up top. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing what he brings.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Taylor's going to have some new songs.
That's what she does. Yes, she's a singer, John.
Yeah, I blanked out the word songs there.
What's that thing called when you like talk to music?
Yeah.
But like, singing it. Oh, songs. That's it.
Right. It was what that redheaded guy did earlier in the show.
Oh, the dude with the tattoos on his sleeves
that we couldn't see. Right.
That guy. Yes, he's in love with the shape of you.
Okay. Oh, hey, let's check on tweets. We got a few more tweets.
We got tweets here.
Yeah.
Get your tweets here.
You have them up?
I do. We got one tweet from Boardman Gets Paid at Layhot the Lion. Well,
okay.
Says, I always catch the episodes Sunday afternoon, so I can't comment with everyone, but what is you guys' favorite sketch made after season 40? Mine is Chance the Rapper, Judge Barry, because realistically, all these court shows should be only a minute long. LOL. You guys are great.
That was all one sentence.
Guys, you got to put some punctuation, please. I beg.
That's right.
I almost passed out.
Yeah, that's a good question. Our favorite sketch after season 40. So,
Jesus.
I'm sure we've mentioned a few of them before. I think the Black Jeopardy sketches have been really strong.
Yeah, the one with Tom Hanks.
The one with Tom Hanks and the one where they had Chadwick Boseman on is the Black Panther. Those were both really strong.
I might put this cable cancellation one up there too.
That's up there. That's really good.
I mean, I'd have to go back and look at all the sketches before.
We did do a best of list on. I think that's still up, isn't it?
It should be.
We tweeted that. Did we tweet that before the Twitter account went south on us? I can't remember.
I think we might have. I don't know. What is time?
I'd have to go back and look.
I mean, if I would also maybe put what's that name from the John.
What's
Mulaney.
That name? Yeah,
that was
brilliant.
That was a good one.
The sketch with The Rock doing the evil invention.
Ooh, that was a good one too.
That's a great one. That's also very, very dark. Yeah, so that's a decent list off the top of our heads, I think.
Yeah, off the top of the dome, that's where we land.
Yeah. Mikey says some good sketches, but a couple of misses. JAJ was great in the cold open, but the monologue was weak. I thought the monologue was good. Enjoyed the Spectrum sketch. Agreed. Dionne Warwick in Men's Room. I'm sorry, breaking that up wrong. Enjoyed the Spectrum sketch, Dionne Warwick in Men's Room, but the jockey and heist pre-tapes were a miss for me, despite some classic Chris Red eye work. Weekend Update not as strong as usual. So,
I mean, I don't know if I agree with all that. I mean, the jockey was, the jockey I'll say was kind of weak. The heist was fine. It was
not a favorite. Not a favorite. I wouldn't say either one was a miss for me.
Yeah, but
maybe the jockey was.
But I mean, the heist was short enough not to be a total miss for me.
Yeah.
Weekend Update not as strong. I don't know if I'd agree with that, just because.
I think if we took out the Cecily Goober the Clown segment, maybe it would seem like a weak Weekend Update.
Okay, maybe.
But it was there, so it wasn't.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I think I'd kind of agree with everything. It's always good to see Chris Red. He masters that bulging eye thing like no other.
He does. He gives great crazy eyes, man.
he knows his craft.
Forget that Lady on Orange is the new black. Chris Red is the real crazy eyes.
Oh, nice.
And by the way, thank you for posting that GIF of Cecily with the caption, "You better disable the comments on this one," because I had no idea what she said at the end. I made out the word comments, and that was all I made out of what she said because it was kind of lost under the music at the end of Weekend Update. So it was nice to find out what she actually said.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people really heard it, but there you go. You're welcome, America.
Yeah. And where do you find those GIFs so quickly? Do you make those or?
No, I don't know how to make a GIF. They're not
okay.
They're store-bought. They're not homemade. I got.
All right.
If you go to like Giphy.com, GIPHY.com, they usually have the GIFs up like literally a few minutes after the sketch aired.
I'm amazed that there are people who make those so quickly. That's amazing to me.
Yeah, there are people who this is their job. Just pump them out like moments after they'd aired.
That's so cool.
I mean, I don't know. However you pay the bills, man.
Exactly. I hope they're getting paid for it.
Oh.
So anyway, that's it for us this week. Please follow us on the Twitter at SNL Nerds Show, and tell us what you think of the episodes. Tell us what you think of the podcast. Tell us what's going on in your lives.
Yeah, what's happening with you guys? We never talk anymore. Are you okay? Are you all right, guys?
Are you okay? Well, we're struggling, obviously.
John, do you really want to talk after this episode?
No, it's okay. It's okay. We talked a little before. And but you can follow me on the Twitter at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL, and the word comic.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible. And we said the Twitter handle for this podcast, did we not?
We did. We could say it again. It's at SNL Nerds Show. And then you can also go visit us on our Patreon at Non-Productive.com and contribute to the Patreon. And we have some, cool little extras and stuff for you there.
Yeah.
You like extras, right?
I do.
Who doesn't like extras?
Extras are great. Who doesn't love extras? Everybody loves a little extra.
Yeah. Everybody needs a little extra.
Yeah, a chihuahua.
I also like movie extras.
Ooh.
They pop up in crowd scenes and they bring life to a scene.
Extra.
Not so much the show, but
see. Okay, that's where I lost you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched it in ages, so
you're better off.
Maybe it's wonderful. I don't know. Who's hosting Extra now?
Damned if I know. I don't mess with that.
Was that the one where one of the Saved by the Bell people was on it?
Yeah, Mario
Lopez.
I almost said Mario Cantone. I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, no. I did see Mario Cantone on TCM recently.
Ooh.
Talking with Ben Mankiewicz.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Wow, we're
just you brought up Mario Cantone. That's where my head went.
Wow, we're really going on a tangent towards the end here, aren't we?
Well, we are, because if we don't go on a tangent at the end, then us saying our Twitter handles gets lost under the music at the end, and I don't want that to happen. I'd rather it be over incoherent babbling like this.
It's thinking like that. That's taking us straight to the top of the iTunes charts, my friend.
Straight to the middle. Let's be real.
Oh, and
by the way, if you want to rate and review the podcast, we would appreciate it. We haven't had a nice review in a while. So.
Yeah, dude, it's been a minute. Let's pump that up a little bit, please.
Yeah, boost us up in the algorithms and the SEO and all that technical jargon stuff
and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So that's the episode, guys. Thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next week when we talk about the episode with Jonathan Majors and Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Does Taylor have a nickname? I feel like she should have a nickname.
T Swift, I believe her fans are called.
T Swift? Is that what they call her? Is that what the kids are calling her?
The Swiffer, I guess.
The Swiffer. Let's get that going.
I just made that up.
Oh, the Swiffer.
I just made that up, but guys, if you want to start calling her the Swiffer, please, by all means, just tag me in it. But until then...
Nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.